All right, boys and girls, and really mothers and fathers of all ages, this is a video for all. Welcome to the SynnLab. This is how math works in the SynnLab, okay? So I'm just trying to answer some general questions about how this thing operates so that at open house I can answer more specific questions that you have person to person. So this is the SynnOvation Lab. We make lots of videos, and just so you know, this is what we offer in SynnOvation Lab. Algebra 1 Standards, Algebra 1 Academic, Algebra 1 Honors. We don't offer Algebra 1 Accelerated because that's a junior high class. Geometry Standards, Geometry Academic, Geometry Honors, Geometry Accelerated, Geometry Double Accelerated. You get the idea. There's like 67 different courses that we offer here in the math. We do our very best to hold everyone to a similar standard. That standard is the standards, like the Ohio State standards, the Common Core standards. And for now, Mr. Pletz and myself, Mr. Ulan, we are the math teachers in the SynnOvation Lab. Mr. Pletz is new to the lab. He also teaches outside of the lab. He's pretty much taking care of the statistics course, which includes AP statistics for a few of our students. Okay? I have had the pleasure and the complete challenge and frustration of building the rest of these courses over the course of the last 5 years. And you might talk to your son or daughter and find out that some of these courses are still being built. And none of them are ever finished. So what does this mean? Well, this video shouldn't take long. How do the students learn? They watch a video, then they do some practice. They used to call that homework. It's better off for those kids to do that here so we can help them with their questions. They can also do it at home because there's a lot of help built into this interface. Then they check their work to see if it's correct or not. After they've checked their work, they should have a good idea on what they need to ask for help on. This is a stage that too many of our students skip. Actually, a lot of them don't even check their work. Not a lot of them, but a lot of the young ones. Okay? After you've checked your work and asked for help, you move on to the next section, and you repeat that until you come to a formative assessment. So, what does that look like? Well, here's a sample of the first chapter of geometry. These are links. That's a video. So, if you click on that link, you will see a video. Oh, man. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a video of me watching a video of me. This is some Inception type stuff going on here. Stop it, stop it. So, that's what they're watching, okay? There's literally thousands of these videos. So, feel free to click away and learn some geometry. I know how much time parents have these days, so it's a great opportunity for you to go back and relearn some geometry. Down lower on this, you will see that there are extra help. So if someone asks for help on number 5, I will help that person with number 5, and I'll make a video of it. That is a video of how to do number 5. So that's what I mean when I say these classes are always growing, because I'm always adding additional help down there in that little zone. Okay? You'll see that this particular geometry unit has 4 sections before they take their first quiz. Okay? In the SynnOvation Lab, we call our quizzes formative assessments. Why not just call them quizzes? Well, we call it a formative assessment because it forms our next step. Okay, so we call it a formative assessment because it forms the next step in the process. If a student gets a B on their first try, they can move on. But if a student gets a B on the first try but wanted to get an A, they can upgrade by retaking a different version of that quiz. If the student does not get a B on their first try, then they have to retake the quiz, and their grade will be capped for that particular assessment as an 89.99. The philosophy being, I don't want students to skip the practice, take the quiz, fail the quiz, and then backwards engineer it, get 100. I don't think that's a terrible way to learn, but I don't think that's A work. That's more like B type work. Okay? Believe me, I think it's the best way to do it. But regardless, it's a little stopping point. So your student is forced to check in with me, and I can get a little data point on them to let myself or Mr. Pletz know how he or she is doing in their class. It works the same way in every class. So, do students take tests? Yes, they do. You can see if I go back to Schoology and look through the grade grid that in Chapter 1, after 9 sections, they take a test. Now, before the test, I will show the students the test for 30 seconds. That should help them understand what the test looks like, how to best be prepared for the test, and therefore how to study for the test. You'll see that I offer lots of review for the test. So a student doesn't have to take a test until he or she is ready. But to that end, there are no redos on the test. We expect that by the time they're taking their test, that they can demonstrate mastery, so 80% or better on that test. If they get a 75, it's not a big deal because their overall grade is going to be weighted 50% formative assessments, 50% tests. But we really do want to see our test grades above the 80% line. If that doesn't happen, then we have a process to remediate that after the test, and we'll deal with that on an individual basis. In general, the best thing you can do in the Synnovation Lab is talk to your teacher. That holds true for math. So, are they just flying through this stuff, or are they actually retaining the information? Well, that really means a lot to me. There's no point in learning math if you don't bring it with you. It's a pyramid of information that's building on top of each other, so any holes can be very detrimental to future growth. So, we do have exams in math. They will take a semester exam as soon as they're done with half of the course. Keep in mind, that doesn't necessarily need to happen in December. It can happen as soon as they're ready for it. And then they will take a final exam at the end of the second semester. I hope that gives you an idea how things work, and I hope that gives you an opportunity to ask more targeted questions at Open House. As always, boom!